Good morning, brand DIYers. How are you? It is Mark here, and well, let me just see. I got my head cut off here. Hold on a minute. There we go. All right, there. How's that? That's better. Good morning, brand DIYers. It's Mark here, and it is a beautiful Wednesday morning here in Victoria, and I am about to go off on a rant. So, yesterday, I was coaching a client, and this is a client a lot like everybody who is at this site, small business, entrepreneurs, startup. And we were going through steps that they could start taking to get their product name out there, to get recognition, to tap some B2B clients. And I said, all right, your name, the name of your company, it's a farm, is the name of your family farm. And I said, that's not going to be the name of your product, right? And he said, no, but I'm thinking that he wasn't quite sure about that question because it was kind of oblique. And I said, no, that's not going to be the name of your product. I said, what we need to do, we need to name your product so that when people hear the name of your product, right away, they get what you do, and even better, they get what you do better than anybody else out there. Now, this might sound really marketing 101, but it's not. All of us do it. I did it. When I started my company, I had created a company called Change Advertising, which I thought was a great name. It had a great logo, and people understood what we did different. We changed advertising. That's what we did. So that was a good name. And then I sold that company, and somebody said, what do you want to call your new consultancy? I said, I'll call it Mark Stoiber Enterprises. Stupid name, bad name. Nobody out there in client land is typing in, I need to get me a little Mark Stoiber. Nobody does that. That is a dumb name. So I have since gone on and I've started other companies. For example, Your Ultimate Presentation, Your Ultimate Pitch, Your Ultimate Speech. Those were all good names because when people are typing in, I need to make a great presentation, they're going to type in, I want to make a great presentation. First thing that pops up is Your Ultimate Presentation. What do you do, Mark? I create Your Ultimate Presentation. Oh, I get it. That's a good name. What's the .com? YourUltimatePresentation.com. Oh, that's easy to remember. Now, none of us, I don't know if there's anybody here from Procter or Budweiser or from McDonald's or Microsoft, but I'd be willing to bet that virtually none of us have a $1 billion ad or brand or marketing budget. Therefore, we need to make every single penny count. And the place to start is with your name. Now, you're saying to me, Mark, I can't change my name. I don't care. You don't have to change the legal name. I am going to give you a little trick here. It's called a name modifier. Okay, it's first little trick. Boeing 747, when they launched that airplane, nobody knew what it was. Terrible name. What's a Boeing 747? Imagine you didn't know. You go, what is it? Sealing wax? Is it a new type of chemical compound? What is it? A new vaccine? And then somebody was genius and they added the name 747 Jumbo Jet. Boeing 747 Jumbo Jet. Ah, brilliant name. I want to buy a really big airplane. What plane should I buy? I know, I'm going to buy a Boeing 747 Jumbo Jet. I know that's something most of you have thought at one time or another. I want to buy a really big plane. Well, that was the answer. See how easy it is? Okay, back to my client. What do you do if you have an established name, but you don't want that to be the handle that you go under? Okay, here's a few things you could do, but the place I would start is where I started with my client yesterday. I said at 2 in the morning, your clients are typing something in, and that question they're typing into Google should have your name as the answer. What are they typing in? Now, this client, he grows hops for beer. And he says, well, they're probably typing in local hops. I go, okay. Well, local is different everywhere. But if they're in Saskatchewan, which is where we happen to be, what would they type in? He'd go Saskatchewan hops. So we went to GoDaddy. Piece of advice number 2. We went to GoDaddy.com, where you buy your domains. And we looked up Saskatchewan hops. SaskatchewanHops.com is available. SaskatchewanHops.ca, even better, is available because it's a .ca. It says it's a local Canadian hops. So we bought that. Then we started going through the list, all the things that people might be typing in at 2 in the morning that should have my client's product as the answer. Local hops, Saskatchewan hops, aromatic hops, all these different names, they were all available in .ca. So we got them all. Now, they can all link to his family farm name, but when people are typing these things in to Google, he has those domains and they all point to his landing page. Now, step number 2, when they get to the landing page, do they see his family farm name? No, because they said, I wanted local Saskatchewan hops and now I've got this family farm. Did I go to the wrong place? You don't put a non sequitur or a misleading name or a blind name at the very top of your landing page. You put a name in there that describes what you do better. The best local Saskatchewan hops. Ugh, and off you go onto the landing page. Now, I cannot tell you how many times I have had people come up to me and they have a name that they think is really cool, or their friends came up with it, or every tech company is named with an X at the end, so they had to have an X at the end, or it's got some clever double entendre or 1.5 entendre, and they think it's super smart, but nobody types that in at 2 in the morning. That should not be your name. Now, you can stick with your name if you've registered, if you've got it on all of your stationery and stuff like that, fine. Stick with it, make it your legal name, but don't make it the working handle for your business. If you have business cards printed, they say, so where do you work? Well, I make Saskatchewan hops. SaskatchewanHops.ca, that's all you gotta know. Go to this website, and then when it comes time to write a check to you because they love your company so much, you can say the legal name is, and they can type in the legal name. All right, so a few bits of advice right there. 1, if you already have an established name, that's okay. Just don't use it. Piece of advice number 2, go to Google and type in what customers might be typing at 2 in the morning when they're desperately searching for something that your product fulfills. What are the words they use? What terms do they use? Annex those terms and use them in your name, in your unofficial name. Step 3, go to GoDaddy. See if a semblance of those terms are available for purchase. If you purchase them, then you can direct all of those handles to your landing page where people can find you. And so when they think of local hops or Saskatchewan hops, they type in Saskatchewan hops, it pops up your name, boom, and they go to your landing page, Saskatchewan hops, the best Saskatchewan hops in the world. They go through the whole landing page, and at the very bottom, they see the actual name of your company. All right? So don't feel, because you're saddled with a crap name, like Mark Stoiber Enterprises, that you have to use it. If you type in trulysimplebrand.com or simplebrand.com, see what comes up. It's me. That's how you overcome the problem of a crap name, and that's what I did. Now, there are other things that you can do. I talk to a lot of people if they want to give their name an official or an official-ish sort of modification. I talk about name modifiers like the Boeing 747 Jumbo Jet. If you feel or you're required to use your actual name, ABC Corp, think of a line underneath. Some people call it a tagline, but a tagline is too salesy, and you don't want to be salesy. Just think of a line that describes what you do best. ABC Corp, the best local hops, or Saskatchewan local hops. You go, okay, ABC Corp, Saskatchewan hops. That's my company name. Nobody has to know that it's not the official name, but it's a name and a modifier, and it works. So I want to finish this off with one more example. And this is an example from a brand DIY member named Catherine Hamilton. And Catherine is a fantastic person. And she actually helped on the Biba Botanica project that we all put together. And she has a name called Tail Whip Integrated Marketing Corporation. That is almost as bad as Mark Stoiber Enterprises. And then I saw some of the content that she wrote because she's a content writer. And I go, holy smokes, this is some of the best content I've ever seen. She is such a talented writer. If anybody needs some content, get Catherine to write it for you. She's amazing. And so I was talking to her and I said, you call yourself Tail Whip IMC. What the hell is that? That's almost as bad as Mark Stoiber Enterprises. And she says, I know. I said, we're going to change that name right now. And we're going to call you Bloody Good Content. And guess what? Bloody Good Content was available in .com. It isn't anymore because we bought it. And we're in the process right now, Catherine and I, Catherine mostly, of putting together a new landing page all around Bloody Good Content. And she, I think, is going to proceed whenever she thinks or hears from people. You know what I like about you, Catherine? You create content that's absolutely smoking. She can go buy absolutely-smoking-content.com, even though that might take you into cannabis, but you get where I'm going. People naturally will tell you what your name should be because they'll describe to you the feeling they get when they're searching for what you have an answer for. So just take that. This is my personal rant. It costs you virtually nothing. You can all do it yourself. Before you start thinking of remarketing and Facebook ad campaigns and SEO and all that stuff, which is all good, but before you do any of it, take a look at your name. Do you have a name that is hurting you? If you do, change it. 1, go to Google, find out what people are typing when the answer should be you. All right? What are they typing in? What are the most searched terms? 2, think of, could I actually incorporate some of those terms into a name? 3, if you have ideas, go to GoDaddy and see if any of those terms are actually buyable. You might be surprised. Yesterday in our coaching session, we were blown away how many good terms were available. Maybe not .com, but we got .ca, and he's a local Canadian company. He wants to stand on local, so .ca is great. Then use those terms to point to a landing page that does not have your Mark Stoiber Enterprises bad name at the very top. It has stuff like build a really simple brand or buy local hops at the top, and only at the bottom do you get to your actual name. So there you go. That's my personal rant. I'm all out of energy today. I'm gonna challenge you to take a look at your name. Could it be better? Could you fix it? Could you buy something better on GoDaddy? And if so, do it. I would love to hear the stories about how this worked for you. I hope you have a terrific day. And remember, tomorrow we've got Entrepreneur Hot Seat. We have one of the entrepreneurs from Brand DIY coming on the show and talking to us about their personal challenges in their business. So stay tuned. Have yourselves a great day.